For me, all the brand managers like a rock stars to me or movie stars to me.
Was that like the marketing and the media industry kind of linked together, which you found really cool?
There is a lot of glamour and glitz attached to marketing.
FEs?
FEs and awards and making ads, meeting probably celebrities.
Marketing and sales.
In companies where marketing and sales are in sync, my biggest KPI is top line delivery, which is revenue generation.
नंबर अचीव करना है भाई.
The more aligned we are towards one thing, the better it would be.
Karachi Eat, I saw your campaign which you guys did with food bloggers. मैं लंदन बैठा हुआ दिल चाहता कि मैं कराची ईट चला जाऊँ भाई. Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of Fahad's Den. In the dynamic world of marketing and advertising, boy oh boy, are we privileged enough to have with us the Senior Brand Manager of National Foods Limited. We'll be diving into the marketing trends, insights, strategies. Let's hear more from the man himself. Assalamualaikum, Mr. Shahzad Deshmukh.
Walaikum salam. Thanks. Why are you giving me that look?
I just do this. This is a Fahad's Den thing.
Okay.
This happens.
So
I don't do a normal intro.
Look.
I do a slightly
We
tilted
start with the
intro.
lion look then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a den after all.
Yeah.
Okay, marketing. I'm a marketer, an aspiring marketer myself. I want some insight as to why did you really choose marketing first?
Yeah, to be very honest, it came naturally to me. It was a passion I wanted to follow, and usually in even marketing, when I was in my college days, I wanted to do FMCG marketing, which was
even within marketing. You knew that FMCG.
Yeah, so I and a lot of one of my teacher, he passed away, Sameen Ahmed. I remember he was so Allah unko jazaa khair de.
Ameen.
So basically, he was one of my aspirations. So and whenever people from FMCG world used to come to our university for you can say we used to have that hiring drives, right? When the leadership team of all the leading FMCG used to come to, so they used to aspire me a lot. And for me, all the brand managers early as well look like a rock stars to me or movie stars to me.
Cool boys.
Yeah, cool boys and doing cool stuff. So that inspired me, and my passion became my profession eventually. So that was something which I'm really honored for.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We talked about being cool. Was that like the marketing and the media industry kind of linked together, which you found really cool?
Yeah. If you say there is a lot of glamour and glitz attached to marketing.
FEs.
Yeah, FEs and awards and making ads, meeting probably celebrities or doing
a lot of side perks.
Yeah, but for me, what really is good is that you can show people your work.
Okay.
So if you, let's suppose, I'm no undermining people if you're in finance, you cannot showcase your work to people at a large scale.
Yeah,
right?
on a broader level. Yeah, absolutely.
So you can show people this is the ad that I have made, or this is the product that I have launched, this is the packaging change that I have done. So that's something really exciting.
You get more visibility,
more talkability, or you can showcase your work. As simple as that. So that was the kick I got from marketing.
Oh yeah, got it. Okay, tell me one thing that I'm pretty sure that a lot of aspiring marketeers have one thing in question, and you being the senior brand manager, I'm probably sure you could give the best insight. Marketing and sales. I'm pretty sure that this conflict still arises.
Yeah.
I want some insight on that.
Well, the conflict in terms of, if to be very honest, in companies where marketing and sales are in sync, because eventually both, if you talk about even my biggest KPI is top line delivery, which is revenue generation.
Number achieve karna hai bhai.
Exactly, number achieve karna hai. And that's the KPI for the sales guy. So we are probably working towards the same cause. The more aligned we are towards one thing, the better it would be. In terms of the conflict, there are always debate about कि यार availability है, offtake का issues हैं या क्या है, वो challenges रहते हैं, but that's a healthy conversation because that helps us push each other to as well, na? And that eventually ends up benefiting the company.
Okay, constructive criticism की तरह.
Exactly. So both have their equal, you can say, important roles to play, and it's a good camaraderie to have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It kind of brings in the best of all worlds.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure being a marketer, you face challenges from the sales team as well. कि आगे policies लगी हुई हैं, सर ये नहीं कर सकते, वो नहीं कर सकते. As a marketer, how do you really tackle those situations? I'm pretty much sure in a place such as Pakistan, where you have economic disruption at its peak. I did not want to say this word, but yes, I was forced to. Okay? And apart from that, there are a lot of policies intact which make things difficult. So how do you really battle those conflicts out?
Here you have to be data centric, to be honest. You have to take the emotions out of it, because usually we are a very emotional nation, you know.
Yeah.
Whenever we get into debate, we take it personally. It's nothing personal about it. It's highly professional. It should be data centric, and based on data, you should take the judgment where the issue is, and you should address the problem. In terms of, it can be a consumer problem, it can be a trade problem, it can be a product problem as well. So you need to first deep dive into data, get the facts right, and based on those facts, take a decision.
Is it more like being performance driven?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be performance driven. But in terms of, if you have a conflict, so when I even have a difference of opinion, if I may say,
Okay.
you have to go back to data and view the data, and then based on that take a decision, rather than who's right, who's wrong. The data will tell eventually what is the right thing to do.
Okay, fair enough. We talked about data, but I'm pretty sure within data you've got cultural or ethical restrictions as well. I know the company that you're coming from, you don't really face any of these. But being as a senior brand manager, if someone is potentially facing this, because I'm pretty sure at least my friends who are evolving marketeers, they would want this insight as well. So how would you really tackle those obstacles out?
Well, eventually any FMCG you talk about, or especially consumer goods, eventually you're dealing with people.
Yeah.
So culture nuances are there. You have to be respectful. You can't say that even in my company or the category I operate in, there are no cultural nuances, or there are no guardrails that you have to operate within. You have to be respectful of that, and you have to be cognizant of the fact that whatever you're putting out there should not have any cultural issue to attach to it, or any taboo attached to it. You can definitely talk about causes or things that are not going right in the society in a very, very right way.
Respectful way.
That's the right word, respectful way. But you don't need to be in terms of opinionated about it.
Oh, okay.
Or you should be apolitical about it, basically.
Yeah, got it. Okay, tell me one more thing that we talked about ethical consideration as well. But at the same time, you've managed to tackle this situation in a much more respectful way. But I'm pretty sure that there's one more thing at the same time as well, which is effectively utilizing all your resources and allocating them effectively, along with the concept of opportunity cost.
Yeah.
So how do you really balance that out, specifically in a country such as Pakistan, where you know you're struggling, you've gone into economic downturns, you're struggling to the core, number nahi achieve ho raha, but at the same time you know कि मेरे पास इतनी resources हैं, I need to crack them up, because marketer do that big time.
Right now the situation is as such, the inflation is ever highest. The consumer is under immense pressure in terms of, and they are making very wise choices, and they're very chooseful about the things that they do. As a marketer, you have to make sure whatever you are spending in terms of the dollar you are spending has a good return on it.
Yeah,
So
perfect ROI.
exactly. So you have to be cautious in terms of whatever you do, and in terms of overall what we are doing as a company is we are trying to put the cost down. We are trying to have smarter solutions in terms of packaging material, overall sourcing. So what we do is a lot of our ingredients, because I work for a masala company, a lot of our ingredients are being imported. So we have a project called Farm to Fork. You can or seed to table, basically, where we are trying to source all the basic ingredients locally.
Oh wow, that's great.
And that helps us cut the cost and eventually give consumers a value proposition at the same pricing.
I think it makes it more sustainable as well.
It makes it more sustainable. It is good for us as well in terms of managing the cost pressures that we are there. We don't need to take frequent price increases, and being more competitive in the market.
You've been more competitive, but there's one eventual goal that all marketers are trying to foster: brand loyalty.
Yeah.
As a marketer, what's your eventual go to that? Yes, I need to effectively utilize all my resources, but at the end of the day, along with ROI and getting that number, मुझे brand loyalty achieve करनी है.
That's the ultimate goal post, to be honest, and we all marketeers want that consumer franchise to be as loyal as to them, especially in a world where there are so many options available.
Absolutely.
And options at your fingertips. The e-commerce platforms there, you can evaluate multiple brands, you can see reviews. With Gen Z, they are more tech savvy as well. So that keeps you on your toes. Now what you do is you need to customize to them. So we have a platform where we try to, so whatever activities we do, we try to get data out of that. We have a platform called Khatoon Khas, where we have females enrolled with us. So we have a WhatsApp group. We interact with them.
Oh, wow.
We have events.
So you're doing ground level.
Exactly. So people can within our whatever activities we done, we got data out of that. We asked them, would you like to join our community? They were part of our community. Now we meet.
Is this in the rural community?
No, this is in city like Karachi.
Okay.
So
Union hubs.
Yeah, but what we do is we interact with them on a one-to-one level. So in Ramzan we had a iftar for them. So they came over at our office. So it was at our office. They can see our premises, see who we are. So they can see the brands, but they cannot see the people behind the brands.
Yeah.
So this was also our interaction with them. So the more customized or personalized you are with the consumer, or the connect with you have with the consumer, the better it would be in terms of getting the loyalty.
Okay.
And apart from that, the products that we deal with, they need to deliver so example recipe.
Yeah.
If you're making biryani, your biryani should be spot on in terms of the taste delivery. So
Absolutely.
taste, color and aroma should be spot on. So we are very meticulous about crafting our products, validating it, testing it. Are they delivering the value that we want them to deliver to the consumers, and that's how we get loyalty out of the consumers.
Okay, fair enough. In the middle of your explanation, you mentioned about the fact that yes, with Gen Zs, everything is becoming digitalized and everything is at your fingertips. How do you see digitalization as the future with the tactfulness of AI and integration within it? Do you see this as a threat, or do you see this as an helping force?
Well, to be honest, digitization and AI is for future.
Okay.
And even you need to adapt. Adaptability is the most adaptable survive, as you say.
Done.
Digitization will grow. AI will be integrated and a core part of digitization. And I see it's an opportunity. And how do I see it as an opportunity? What we see with time is with Gen Z especially, conveniences. They seek a lot of convenience.
Yeah.
Life is getting way more busier than it used to be. And if you compare a life of a millennial versus a Gen Z versus alpha, things are evolving in a very rapid pace.
Yeah.
So they want convenience, and digitization gives them convenience. Now
So you see
don't
this
have to
as
do grocery. You can do grocery on an app. You can. We have a platform. We call it Made Easy. So that's a platform where
Oh,
you
wow.
can.
I never knew that.
So Made Easy gives you. It tells you about the videos. We show. Make recipes. Then you can order online our products as well through that.
Oh, wow.
Then we partner with a lot of e-commerce platforms where my consumers can find our products.
Basically, collaboration is the key.
Exactly.
Once we're talking about growth and brand loyalty, you talked about that you were carrying out activations so that the people actually came to your office, or they saw everything and they could probably relate to it and became more loyal. So you mentioned the fact of activations.
Yeah.
How crucial do you think is an activation in fostering that brand loyalty?
It is critical because
as a brand, I'm pretty sure that along with achieving numbers, what the brand team could specifically look at is that TVC, DVC.
Yeah.
But activations come under communication. That's a different function altogether.
So even if you talk about in my company, it's a different function.
You're
so
welcome to name it out. I already named it in the start.
So in my company, National Foods, there is a specialized.
You guys heard it.
Marketing services where they look after all the activations, but it's highly integrated with the brand team. Activations gives you consumer experience of the brand, so they can interact with the brand, they can feel the brand in terms of what products that the brand has. So we do a lot of activation in terms of, and especially with you talk about what we see is a lot of consumers coming to these events like Karachi Eat,
Yeah, exactly.
Soul Fest, and there are so many.
Talking about Karachi Eat, I saw your campaign which you guys did with food bloggers.
Yeah.
I was blown away. मैं लंदन बैठा हुआ दिल चाहता कि मैं कराची ईट चला जाऊँ भाई. That was amazing.
Yeah,
that was a
thanks
super
a lot.
duper campaign. I think irfanjunejo, hamzabhatti.
Yeah.
I cannot even think of any food blogger or type A food bloggers which were not a part of that campaign.
Yeah, what in NFL, whatever we try to do, we want to stand out, because there is a lot of clutter.
No wonder.
And at Karachi, even there will be 50 plus brands, 50 plus stalls, But our stall got a lot of virality because we did a lot of different things. We had the PR leg, we had all the leading influencers coming to our stall, making stories, showcasing our stall. We were trending on Twitter for 3 days
Wow.
throughout the event, and we got a lot of organic views, impressions, reach through this. So it was not
Amazing.
just. So this is what the new digitization is, right?
Yeah.
You do previously you will just do the stall and that's it. Now you can do the stall, you can take it online, you do a lot of PR around it and create a lot of talkability around it.
Yeah, exactly. You've covered so many topics. I'll go into them step by step.
Sure.
But Shahzad, tell me one thing. Are you a fan of brand storytelling? Just a very precise answer.
Yes, of course, why not?
Okay.
Brand is all about storytelling.
Do you think that as we are growing into that number driven society, do you think that the concept of storytelling within those commercials is dying?
It depends. It depends brand to brands. It depends on the problem the brand is trying to solve. I don't see it dying down. I see
Okay.
stories being more human. The connect that they get from the consumers is even higher. So I don't think so they are dying down.
Okay. So you've agreed on the fact that you don't really find the concept of storytelling dying within advertising.
Yeah.
If you were to pitch something as an advertising campaign कि मेरे नए साल की campaign ये आ रही है, so how would you really balance that storytelling and creative aspect with the number driven approach that you guys as FMCG people really have?
Now, as I told you, so every communication has an objective,
Okay.
and the objective is driven with the business objective or the brand objective. So you need to set that objective clear, and based on that you craft the story. So and then definitely there will be KPIs to follow. So
Okay.
let's suppose we did a packaging change 2 years back,
Okay.
and that was a packaging change after a decade.
After a decade?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And when we did that, then the objective was to make the new packaging awareness increase with the consumers, because it's not just a flasher change; it was a 360-degree change.
Oh, okay.
So we gave
so the
colors.
design was
Yeah,
the change
the
was
design
prominent.
aspect was very very different versus what we were doing. तो उसके लिए जो ऑब्जेक्टिव ये था तो उसके KPIs अकॉर्डिंगली थे. उसकी
बिल्कुल.
स्टोरी टेलिंग नहीं थी उसमें ज़्यादा शो एंड टेल था अबाउट द प्रोडक्ट और अबाउट द पैकेजिंग चेंज. So again, it comes down. It starts with the objective. How clearly you define the objective, what brand problem you are trying to solve, and based on that you carve out the stories.
So basically, it's very subjective.
You can say that it's subjective. If you talk about marketing overall, it's not an absolute science.
Okay.
It's a hybrid between.
It's a natural science.
Exactly, you can say it's a natural science. So you have to have that instinct to it. Plus, again, then there is data. There is post analysis in terms of we have the BHTs, we have the HHPs, then we have the internal data in terms of our sales going up or
Yeah.
not. So this is where the data comes in.
Gen Z के बारे में बात करते हैं. We're doing PR campaigns and everything. There's always this fear of getting cancelled. हम कोई एक छोटी सी बात करेंगे and boom, we're
Yeah.
cancelled.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when it comes to brand loyalty as well, there is that very fine line in between that this is brand loyalty, you won it. But if you do this, gone.
Yeah.
Brand loyalty can be lost as well.
Yeah.
So as a marketer, how do you really define that fine line out?
Well, again, you need to know what are the no-go areas. So there are certain guardrails that every brand operate within.
Okay.
And with Gen Z's, what Gen Z are more purpose-led. They like brands which are more towards a bigger purpose in terms of managing or giving back to the environment as well. So doing things that are good for the environment, good for people in overall. So Gen Z's connect with that. So
yeah.
you have to make sure you work for a cause which
Okay.
is beyond just selling a normal product, right?
Absolutely.
So this is how you connect with the Gen Zs, and definitely in terms of they have opinion about everything. You have to be sure in terms of what affinity you can drive
Okay.
with that particular topic. So all the topics cannot be fit into your brand. There are certain passion points like cricket or music, which Gen Zs are highly affinitive with. So you need to make sure that you are connected with those passion points.
Okay, fair enough. Tell me one more thing. When I was working at that company I told you earlier, I had
You will
this,
not name that company.
I mean, I don't.
It's okay,
I could
it's okay.
practically, but I don't. So, I had this interaction with the PR guy. Okay, he told me one thing very interesting. He said that at the end of the day, we're corporate people, right?
Yeah.
So, since we're corporate, we can fake things. We do not necessarily need to show that. We just need that hype.
Okay.
ठीक है? We need that hype We need that buzz.
Okay.
Okay? And if we're creating that buzz, we're getting that ROI. Does that actually happen?
I don't think so. You need to be as authentic as possible. With digitization, I will go back to that point. Consumer are getting smarter day by day.
Okay.
They know, and especially with Gen Zs, and they are more. They have a lot of knowledge at their hand. If you are not doing the right things, you are not ethical about the things you do. Eventually, in a long run, you will falter.
Okay.
So you have to be authentic. You have to be true to your claims, and be as honest as possible.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is there is an amplification bit that we do,
Okay.
which is about this again, PR, influencers. That's more about reaching more people. There's
Okay.
nothing unethical about it, right?
Yeah.
So if let's suppose a influencer has 1 million followers, if I have that influencer do a PR campaign for
Yeah.
me, I would reach a lot of
Yeah,
people
I
through
will.
that. So there's nothing unethical about it.
Well answered. I like that answer.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Tell me one more thing that we talked about influences and all. Social media can backfire in an instant second.
Yeah.
But at the same time, once you're potentially working with an influencer, just say, let's say he has 1 million followers, do you prefer giving them the creative liberty and taking the contextual liberty with you guys, or giving it completely up to the creator because he knows his audience the best?
Well, we try to make it fine balance between both. We don't
Okay.
want, because if you with creative people, you hire them and then you confine them, does not make sense at all. So you need to give them that liberty, but eventually the brand message and the context is determined by us. So because eventually it's a commercial relationship.
Yeah.
It's not a we are not a movie makers. We are here to sell products to consumers and make advertisement that help us do that more. So whatever
It's
we
a
do,
commercial thing.
exactly. So whatever we do, we try to find a fine balance
Okay.
in terms of a creative essence and then the context that we want to put forward.
So basically, let's just put it this way: in terms of monetization and achieving your KPIs, the main narrative is always getting that specific ROI in return,
Yeah.
while trying to balance the most of creativity and the visual aspect itself.
We don't want to make it in the face sort of and mundane, not do hard selling. It has to be, again, it will be a good storytelling where just the brand fits in seamlessly.
Okay, fair enough. Are you a creative person yourself?
Well, I try to be, but I'm more analytical, I will say, than
Okay.
creative.
Power BI.
Power BI, Excel, all helps.
You told me about an innovation campaign that you guys are planning. By the time this episode goes live, I think I'm hopeful the campaign has gone live as well. I want you
I
to,
hope so.
inshallah, if you are to maybe create a visually aesthetic campaign around that innovation, I want to see the aesthetic you.
So what I usually do is, in terms of whatever story we are trying to tell, एक uniqueness होनी चाहिए उसमें.
Yeah.
In terms of the narrative should be different and it should fit well. It should dovetail well with the brand.
Bilkul.
So
You
that's,
know why I'm going a lot towards brand storytelling?
yeah.
I'll tell you a story. So there was this one course which I had, brand storytelling. Okay? The whole objective of that course itself was to teach the importance of brand storytelling narrative within the brand management perspective.
Okay.
So you know what they did for the midterm itself? They were like, create a promotional video. I was like, okay, wait. This is not a filming degree that I'm doing. This is a marketing and digital communication degree that I'm doing. He said a promotional video. I said fine. Promotional video की length क्या होगी? 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. We're like fine. He's like, no, it's not a promotional video. It is an ad. It's a commercial.
Okay.
I was even happier with that. Commercial की length क्या होगी? 30 seconds, 40 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what he said? 2.5 minute का commercial है.
Okay.
I'm like, what? ये तो film होती है भाई. This is
Short
actually
film.
a short film. बिल्कुल. And that's what he wanted. So that is why I really want that insight as to, is that really how crucial brand storytelling is within brand management?
You are measuring it through the length of the TVC. Like, again, there are in the past a lot of brand has done TVCs which are probably 3 minutes or 1 minute. But if you talk about the consumer insights with the overall, you can say, bombardment of advertisement, people are, their attention spans are getting lesser
Yeah.
and lesser. So you have to be smart in terms of probably the build up to the problem and solution can be looked into in
Okay.
terms of trying to tell the same story in a probably a shorter and a more concise way will surely help you, because the consumer attention span is getting
it's getting lesser and lesser by the day.
And now with the skip button there, they
It
have the
becomes
power
even
as well.
Yeah.
So previously, if you talk about just the TV, eventually if you're watching your own favorite show, you cannot skip the ad, and people used to stay with that channel. Now with YouTube, you can skip the ad through. So it would be wiser to have the story, but make it more concise as much as possible. But again, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with your opinion though.
So that's my opinion based on what my understanding of the consumer and the data that I see.
Fair enough. Okay, I completely agree with that storytelling. I'll deviate from it now. You talked about the fact that YouTube पे बीच में ads आ जाते हैं.
Yeah.
We're monetizing every single place that we can.
Yeah.
ठीक है. So as a brand, do you see this as a good step, or do you see this as a potential pitfall, because that skip button is always there, irrespective of whatever you're doing? You know that the consumer has the ultimate edge.
Yeah.
Skip kiya, done, they're off.
Yeah.
Do you think that is something which could potentially backfire as well? कि जितना मर्जी काम कर लो, you might not be able to reach that behavioral impact.
Yeah, absolutely. For a life or for a marketeer is getting tough and tough. We are working in a multi-screen environment now. So previously it was just TV or probably radio and print. Now it's TV, then YouTube, and then your mobile, and it's it's dynamic. Beyond. It's very dynamic. But again,
no wonder we have you for the insight.
So it's very dynamic, and eventually you'll have to adapt, because the consumer, your consumer is not there for your ads. They are there to consume content.
Yeah, that is something very heavy which you said.
Yeah, so you need to again find the right content where the eyeballs are, and hope that whatever you put there in terms of the narrative of the brand will be listened by the consumers. So you cannot get away with the skip button. You will need to be find smarter ways, and that's what then PR comes into play as well. Because influencers, what they do content and they integrate the brand there.
Yeah.
Or you can say events like PSL or football, Champions League, a lot of brands are integrating with.
No wonder we've got majority of activations going on.
Exactly. So that's why, because you cannot just rely on one platform now. You have to have that 360, or you have to get the consumer through multiple platforms.
As a marketer, you said that yes, life is becoming difficult by the day, and it's practically by what the implementation of AI or having certain mechanisms functioning, जैसे monetization आ गई, too much clutter हो गया, life is getting difficult. Yeah. But I'm probably sure that smart work rather than hard work does eventually foster down the longer run.
Yeah.
But how do you see the potential platforms of snack video and TikTok, where branded content doesn't really do as much as well as the general content? When we talk about influencers, उनका जो branded content होगा, they won't achieve that number.
Yeah.
So how do you really tackle that out?
We talk about TikTok again, or the platforms that are growing. A lot of influencers, they eventually are getting smarter as well. So now they are, in terms of integrating the brand and carving a story out of it, they now share their own experiences with the brand. They share their opinion with the brand. That makes authenticity to come with the storytelling.
Okay.
So you can relate. And a lot of people now, so let's suppose you are an influencer, a big influencer, you have a fan following.
I'm not, guys.
They will trust you, right? So if Fahad is saying something, he is...
there comes a certain leg of credibility with Fahad.
So that credibility comes with it. And eventually, as the fans, you are seeking solutions to certain problems. So if you get a brand that helps you solve that problem, and it's part of the content as well, I guess it works.
Moment Saqib एक बड़ी मजेदार बात करता है. Whenever he's making a video, he says online family.
Yeah.
The fact that he is saying an online family makes every one of the followers be inclusive and make his word even more reliable.
If you are an influencer and eventually you want your fan base to stay with you, you also want your brand fan base to be loyal to you. And if you associate with brand with the experience that eventually your fan base, based on your certain, let's suppose you put a podcast or a video out there and you have referred to a brand and the experience was not good, you will surely lose your fan base, right?
Absolutely.
So you have to be more cautious of the fact that whatever brands you associate with, whatever they claim, they hold true to that claim.
I think you would agree upon this, that if you're an influencer as well, at the end of the day, you're actually a brand manager as well. because your name itself is a brand. You've got tons and tons of people who are actually following you.
Yeah, exactly. And why not? Your also your skin is also in the game. So
Yeah, it is absolutely.
So you have to. I would, in fact, influencers who try products and based on that experience, and if it's a good experience, only endorse products.
Yeah.
Then it works out. I can quote. So there are celebrities now who don't endorse आपका fizzy drinks just
Okay.
because their lifestyle is not like that.
Wow.
So they because they don't they only consume healthier options. So they promote healthier options.
Simple.
So they are authentic to whatever they do.
So they've basically shown their own brand, and their brand image is basically reflected by the Instagram profile or whichever social platforms they're.
And the things they do. So they नहीं होता कि बोले वो करते कुछ और हैं बोलते कुछ और हैं. So they walk the talk.
So basically they're not that fake.
Yeah.
थोड़े से.
And I'm sure that the fan loyalty they would have versus the others would be way better than.
Oh yeah, absolutely, no doubt about that. I think with that being said, we come towards the end of this episode.
Okay, that was quick.
That was quick, but no, that was a lovely episode. I had so many wonderful insights. As a future prospective marketer, I love interacting with marketing. I'm pretty sure you got that vibe in.
Throw a lot of questions at me. Sometimes I try to duck, some I try to answer.
You pulled off the hook in the most impactful manner with 100 meter six. Come on.
No, you are true marketer because.
Thank you so much. But no, I tried. But yes, thank you so much, Shahzad. It was an honor to have you.
Pleasure is all mine. Thanks for having me at your den.
I loved it.
And I hope we frequently meet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We will, for sure.
Yeah.
And with that being said, thank you so much to all of you as well. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.